Hey, I'm Tony K, and I'm here with another unboxing, but not only that, my very first full-length review. Normally, I would suggest my 3 favorite reviewers for a review of your action figure. Come see my videos on how to open your action figure so that you can save your packages for future use. My top 3 favorite reviewers in order would be Optobotomus, P.A., and Robot Adventures for when I'm feeling a little saucy. In fact, here is my salute to Reuven. Robot Adventures, however, is for adult collectors only. So let's get started with our review. Here we have The Amazing Spider-Man movie series, Ultra-Poseable Spider-Man. Over 20 points of articulation, ages 4+, manufactured by Hasbro. I have been looking at these Spider-Man figures since they first came out. I go to the grocery store or the Mega Mart and look for Transformers figures, and Spider-Man would always be in the same aisle. But not until the Blu-ray and DVD came out did they put the figures with the DVDs. And when I was looking to buy my DVD and I saw the figures, I looked through them and I saw this one, which has more articulation than the other figures to come out in this series. Taking a look at the side, we've got a nice little screenshot of Spider-Man in costume. It's actually the photograph of the costume, or a very well computer-generated image. On the back, we've got 3 images of this particular figure, Superposable, Ultra-Poseable Spider-Man. An endless arsenal of acrobatic moves makes Spider-Man truly amazing. Visit hasbro.com/Spider-Man, theamazingspiderman.com. And then it says, collect them all. I'm not going to do that. I've got just a couple of comic book figures. I've got the Max and like a anniversary edition of Spawn. And that is it for my comic book figures. So Spider-Man will join those guys. But here we have under Collect Them All, each sold separately, Zip Rocket Spider-Man, Web Cannon Spider-Man, and Reptile Blast Lizard. But what we have with these 2 figures, we've got bends in the elbows, bends in the knees, pivot at the shoulders, and a head that'll swivel. It's probably on a ball joint. But with this figure, as we'll see in a moment, we've got double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, 1 or 2 points of articulation on each angle, ball joint on the head, and articulated wrists, plus articulation in the shoulders and in the waist. But we'll look at that again shortly. Looking at the bottom of the package, we've got legal information and our UPC code. With this particular package, I would be comfortable going in from this long side, perhaps putting a slice in this corner, because we got multiple corners here, 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 and here. I think going in through the bottom of the package would have a lot more trouble getting this corner past this spot than we would have getting this corner through to here. So let's get slicing. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the package from this side, and this corner is lower than this whole edge. So I think I'm going to have to cut here and here. I'm going to try to put the tip of the knife in as shallow as possible, because I want to avoid slicing the plastic tray that will pull out of the package. I also want to avoid cutting the cardboard. I see that this bottom flap is tucked in behind the side flap. I'm going to come in this direction and try to get between this plastic and the cardboard. I would have to say my videos are for the serious collector. The average shopper who watches a review to purchase their toy might not be so concerned with how to open it. Would probably discard their package when they're done. Hopefully they'd recycle it. I'm trying to get through the bottom, but looking from the back I see that there's a plastic flap and a piece of tape. I don't want to bother trying to remove that piece of tape because of the glue that would be left behind. In a previous video I mentioned that you could usually clean the glue off just by re-sticking the tape and the glue eventually peels off. But this is a big piece of tape. So instead I only need to slice the plastic on the front from here to here. I see that we're glued down right here, so I'll have to continue up to our first incision. I'm caught a little bit right in this corner. There we go. The cardboard started to come out. I'm not sure if I'll need to pull it out completely when I put this box in, but it looks good so far. And we have Spider-Man, and he's just held into his plastic tray with some dimples. No special ties. I really like that. I think it'd be nice if our more Transformers figures could come like that. Just less waste with the paper ties and the twist ties that come with Transformers. We'll set this package aside. In fact, we will reinsert it right now before we move on to our review. And the plastic tray just folds up a little bit, but pops right back into its original shape once we get it in the package. Now I can put that in the back of my shelf, and I can have Ultra-Poseable Spider-Man in the front. Having a little trouble straightening his legs. I think the ball joint in there is twisted around. Most ball jointed figures can pull apart. I think of like Revoltech figures. Or Revoltech. Choose your pronunciations, I guess. Either this joint is very stiff, or it is glued down. That'd be silly. They wouldn't glue down the joint on it. There we go. It's kind of ratcheted. Very limited, like one ratchet. One. Can you hear that click? So, one click. That's not very articulated to me. We've got the double jointed knees, much like, what were they, the 25th anniversary G.I. Joe figures, and I suppose most G.I. Joe figures to follow have that double jointed knee. Got a double jointed elbow. Again, it's a little stiff. And the plastic is kind of soft, kind of rubbery. And it wants to stretch rather than pivot on that hinge. Alright, now that's the joint. That is the fully painted side. So, comes out of the package, not accurately assembled, I suppose. Ooh! Is that supposed to be split? Is his hand supposed to pop off? Is that a safety feature? Or did this thing just break? I wonder if I still have that receipt. I'm looking at the hand here. Let's pause and readjust the lighting. And we're back. And there should be some sort of post in this hand. I suppose there is a post, but it is so wide. It's very narrow. It's a narrow post, but it is wide. And I think that is why the hand did not turn. You can see that split. So my question is, did that just break, or did they design it to split? I got a little articulation there. A little back the other way. But you cannot pivot this a full 90 degrees, like I would imagine. I would think the only thing that should stop this from turning would be bumping up against the wrist on the forearm. But instead, it's because this piece in the middle is so wide. I could get in there with my X-Acto knife and modify it. I didn't want to have to do that, but I've already got a laundry list of modifications that I want to perform. What are we dealing with over on this other side? We're getting a good bend. It's not popping off. I can't tell. I'm going to give it a light pull and see if it comes off or if it seems like it's pretty solid. This one's not coming off. I think that other wrist broke. Oh, I think this one just broke too. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing a stress fracture in there. On second thought, maybe that is the way it was made, because you can see the posts running through the knees and the elbows from the outside. You see that little dimple. So I suppose with the hands, they needed to split that ring coming out of the wrist to pop the hands on. Knees. This hinge is bending quite well. This one is not. If I could grip it, I can get that bent. So you can bring that back. Looking at the foot, moves, it pivots forward and backward. And on the other side, it was a little stiff, but it worked. So we got these hips that have, or these, what, hip thigh, the hip thigh joint. It's got its individual ball joint inside that pivots separately from the hip and the thigh. So 2 points to twist. But we've only got one. That's as far back as it goes. That's as far forward as it goes. We can get some other stuff going on, I see, just by swinging that out. Let's take a look at the chest articulation. Feels like it might be some sort of ball joint inside. We've got a twisting motion. We have a forward bend, back bend. Should go 360 if you wanted it to. And give it a little pull test. Does it come apart? It's not coming apart, so I'm not going to try to pull it apart. Looks like the head looked like it was on a ball joint. It is not. It is on a joint that has a ratchet going this way and a post going into the head this way. Ratchet, post. Let's look at the shoulders. I think I skipped that. We've got kind of an up and down. The way it came in the package was twisted with the pivot point showing up, so you could get some more poses. Rotates 360 degrees that way. We've got a post running into the bicep with 360 degrees of turning radius. Coming back to the wrist, while it has its problems moving in this direction, it does spin. There's a post running from this hinge up into the forearm. I'm going to get him posed in his classic shooting a web thing. Well, it's a pose. Might get fishing line for this guy. That could be his webbing. Do some hanging poses. Kind of hard to get a classic pose out of this guy. The pose that I want, anyway. I'm not liking the way those legs split. Finally got him balanced. Let's see if we can get him standing on his own. Looking at his paint apps, they are not master quality, but I mean, we are talking about a $10 toy that's pushed for kids, not for adult collectors. But we've got a lot of texture in the suit, which is great. Smaller texture pitting in the blue sections as opposed to the red on his chest, which is a larger webbing texture. I'm probably going to add this figure to the bottom of my modification list, in which I will try to color in the indentations of webbing on his suit. Overall, it looks pretty good. We've got fairly accurate placement of red and blue. The front spider is black. And then the shoes, the bottom of the feet are silver. Got a little blue running through the hand. Got a little red web shooter bump on the wrist. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. And while you're at it, head on over to my Facebook page, facebook.com/candlequickies. That's CANDLEQUICKIES. Quickkies, and check out my monthly comic strips.